In today's interconnected world, information security standards organizations play a crucial role in establishing frameworks that protect our digital infrastructure. These organizations develop, maintain, and promote the standards that form the backbone of cybersecurity practices globally. Their work impacts everything from government operations to individual privacy, creating the common language that security professionals use to build resilient systems. The ISO stands as one of the most influential standards bodies globally, with its ISO/IEC 27000 series forming the cornerstone of information security management. The ISO/IEC 27001 standard, in particular, provides a systematic approach to managing sensitive information and has become the gold standard for establishing information security management systems ISMS. Organizations that achieve ISO 27001 certification demonstrate their commitment to protecting data through a comprehensive set of policies, procedures, and controls that address confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The ISO collaborates with the International Electrotechnical Commission, IEC, to develop these standards, ensuring they remain technically robust and globally relevant. What makes the ISO approach particularly effective is its emphasis on risk assessment and management, encouraging organizations to identify vulnerabilities specific to their environment rather than imposing a one-size-fits-all solution. As part of the U.S. Department of Commerce, NIST has developed some of the most comprehensive cybersecurity frameworks used worldwide. Its Cybersecurity Framework, CSF, provides a set of guidelines for private sector organizations to assess and improve their ability to prevent, detect, and respond to cyber attacks. The framework's core functions, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, offer a structured approach to security that is both flexible and adaptable to various industries. NIST special publications, particularly the 800 series, have become essential references for security professionals. NIST SP 800-53, which details security controls for federal information systems, extends its influence far beyond government applications. The recent focus on supply chain security, NIST SP 800-161, demonstrates NIST's responsiveness to emerging threats in an increasingly complex digital ecosystem. The PCI DSS focuses specifically on payment card security, developing standards that protect cardholder data worldwide. Its flagship standard, the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, outlines requirements for organizations that handle credit card information. By establishing a baseline for securing payment data, PCI DSS has significantly reduced fraud in the payment ecosystem. What distinguishes the PCI DSS is its industry-specific approach and its enforcement mechanism. Organizations that fail to comply with PCI DSS may face financial penalties and lose their ability to process card payments. This creates powerful incentives for adherence and has elevated payment security practices globally. The CIS has gained prominence through its CIS controls and CIS benchmarks, which provide practical, prioritized guidance for implementing cybersecurity defenses. The CIS controls are a set of 18 recommended actions for cyber defense, organized by priority and implementation difficulty. These controls are notable for their clear, actionable guidance that helps organizations focus on the most critical security measures first. CIS benchmarks complement these controls by offering detailed configuration guidelines for specific technologies, from operating systems to cloud services. These benchmarks are developed through a consensus-based process involving security experts, technology vendors, and the broader community, ensuring they reflect both best practices and practical implementation considerations. The IETF develops and promotes Internet standards, focusing on the protocols that make the Internet work. While not exclusively focused on security, the IETF has been instrumental in developing security-related protocols like TLS, Transport Layer Security, which secures most Internet communications today. The IETF Security Area Working Group coordinates security-related standards development, ensuring that security considerations are integrated into Internet protocols. What sets the IETF apart is its open, volunteer-driven approach to standards development. Anyone can participate in the IETF's work, and decisions are made through rough consensus rather than formal voting. This has created a dynamic environment where security standards can evolve rapidly in response to emerging threats. Unlike many standards organizations, OWASP is a nonprofit foundation focused specifically on improving the security of software. Its most well-known publication, the OWASP Top 10, identifies the most critical web application security risks and has become a de facto standard for secure application development. OWASP's strength lies in its open community model and its focus on practical tools and guidance. Projects like the OWASP Application Security Verification Standard ASVS and the OWASP Software Assurance Maturity Model SAM provide detailed frameworks for implementing security throughout the software development lifecycle. By making its resources freely available, OWASP has democratized access to security knowledge and raised awareness of application security issues. The ISF is a membership organization that provides research, tools, and methodologies to address cybersecurity challenges. Its standard of good practice for information security is a comprehensive set of security controls that addresses all aspects of information security management. Unlike some standards that focus primarily on technical controls, the ISF standard emphasizes organizational factors and human elements in security. The ISF's approach is notable for its focus on practical implementation and its integration of threat intelligence into standards development. By continuously tracking emerging threats and vulnerabilities, the ISF ensures its guidance remains relevant in a rapidly evolving threat landscape. Common criteria provides a framework for specifying security requirements, evaluating product security features, and certifying products against these requirements. It enables vendors to develop products that meet specific security needs and allows customers to specify their security requirements with confidence. What distinguishes common criteria is its mutual recognition arrangement, which allows certificates issued by one participating country to be recognized by others. This international approach reduces the need for redundant evaluations and facilitates global trade in security products. These organizations don't merely create documents, they fundamentally transform how we approach security. By establishing common terminology, methodologies, and practices, they enable organizations to communicate effectively about security risks and controls. They create benchmarks that drive continuous improvement and foster a security community that transcends national and organizational boundaries. In a landscape where threats evolve constantly, these standards organizations provide the stability and consistency needed to build effective defenses. Their work enables organizations to implement security measures with confidence, knowing they're following proven approaches. For security professionals, these standards offer a foundation of knowledge and a framework for growth. As we navigate increasingly complex digital environments, the role of these standards organizations becomes even more critical. They are the unsung architects of our digital security infrastructure, working behind the scenes to ensure that the technologies we rely on every day can be trusted with our most sensitive information. In the evolving landscape of information security, certain standards have served as cornerstones for building robust security practices. ISO 17799 stands as one of these foundational pillars, having shaped how organizations approach information security management around the world. ISO 17799 began its journey as a British standard, BS 7799, in the 1990s before being adopted by the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, in 2000. This standard represented one of the first comprehensive attempts to codify best practices for information security management, emerging during a time when organizations were beginning to recognize the critical importance of protecting their digital assets. The standard underwent significant evolution throughout its lifetime. Initially published as ISO/IEC 17799:2000, it was later revised in 2005 as ISO/IEC 17799:2005. In a pivotal development for information security standardization, ISO 17799 was eventually renumbered in 2007, becoming ISO/IEC 27002, a designation that aligned it with the broader ISO 27000 series of information security standards. This transition represented not just a change in numbering, but the integration of this pioneering standard into a more comprehensive framework for information security management. The core structure and principles. What made ISO 17799 particularly influential was its comprehensive approach to information security. Rather than focusing narrowly on technical controls, it laid out a holistic framework encompassing organizational, physical, and technical aspects of security. The standard was organized into 10 major sections, expanded to 11 in the 2005 revision, each addressing a different domain of security controls. Security policy establishes management direction and support for information security. Organization of information security provides governance frameworks for security within the organization. Asset management helps to identify information assets and defining appropriate protection. Human resources security directs security aspects before, during, and after employment. Physical and environmental security is for protecting the organization's physical facilities. Communications and operations management help to ensure secure operations of information processing facilities. Access control directs how to limit access to information and systems. Information systems acquisition, development, and maintenance supports the building of security into systems. Information security incident management supports addressing security breaches effectively. Business continuity management is used in protecting critical business processes from disruption, and compliance helps to ensure conformity with legal, regulatory, and contractual requirements. Each section contained detailed objectives and controls, providing organizations with practical guidance for implementation. This comprehensive structure made ISO 17799 valuable, not just as a compliance framework, but as an educational tool that helped organizations understand a breadth of information security concerns. The influence of ISO 17799 extends far beyond its official status as a standard. It fundamentally changed how organizations conceptualize and approach information security in several key ways. Shift to risk-based security. ISO 17799 helped popularize a risk-based approach to security, encouraging organizations to identify their specific vulnerabilities and implement controls proportionate to the risks they faced. This moved the industry away from checklist-based security toward more thoughtful, context-aware security programs. Common language for security. By establishing a standardized terminology and framework, ISO 17799 created a common language for security professionals worldwide. This facilitated communication about security issues across organizational and national boundaries, enabling the sharing of best practices and the development of a global security community. The standard emphasized that information security is not merely a technical issue, but a business concern that should be integrated into organizational processes. This perspective helped elevate security considerations to the executive level and embedded security thinking throughout organizations. ISO 17799 laid the groundwork for what would later become the ISO/IEC 27001 certification system, which has become one of the most recognized security certifications globally. Organizations seeking to demonstrate their commitment to security often pursue this certification, which is built on the principles established in ISO 17799. The structure approach helped organizations systematically improve their security posture, building comprehensive security programs rather than implementing isolated technical solutions. One of ISO 17799's most significant contributions was its recognition of the human element in information security. The standard emphasized the importance of security awareness, training, and clear policies that employees could understand and follow. It recognized that even the most sophisticated technical controls could be undermined by human factors, and provided guidance for addressing these concerns. This human-centered approach has become increasingly important in modern security practices, as social engineering and phishing attacks exploit human vulnerabilities rather than technical weaknesses. ISO 17799's early recognition of these factors has influenced subsequent security frameworks to incorporate robust provisions for security awareness and training. While ISO 17799 no longer exists under that designation, its legacy continues in ISO/IEC 27002, which maintains the same fundamental structure while incorporating new insights and addressing emerging threats. The principles established in ISO 17799 have also influenced numerous other security frameworks and regulations, from industry-specific standards like PCI DSS to broader regulations like GDPR. The evolution from ISO 17799 to the ISO 27000 series represents the maturation of information security as a discipline. What began as a collection of best practices has developed into a comprehensive family of standards addressing every aspect of information security management. The enduring influence of a pioneering standard, ISO 17799, may have been renamed and updated, but its impact on information security practices continues to resonate. By establishing a structured approach to security management and emphasizing the importance of risk assessment, the standard helped transform information security from a primarily technical concern to a fundamental business discipline. For security professionals today, understanding the history and principles of ISO 17799 provides valuable context for current standards and practices. Many of the challenges faced by today's security teams, balancing security with usability, addressing human factors, integrating security into business processes, were first systematically addressed in ISO 17799. As organizations continue to navigate an increasingly complex threat landscape, the foundational principles established in this pioneering standard remain as relevant as ever, providing a solid framework for protecting our most valuable information assets. In a world where digital transactions are ubiquitous, the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, stands as a vital safeguard protecting the integrity of our global financial ecosystem. This comprehensive framework has fundamentally transformed how businesses handle payment card information, establishing a universal baseline for security that spans industries, borders, and technologies. The genesis of a global standard. The story of PCI DSS begins in the early 2000s, a time when digital commerce was experiencing explosive growth and payment card fraud was becoming increasingly sophisticated. Major card brands, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, and JCB, recognized that fragmented security approaches were insufficient against evolving threats. In 2004, they united to establish the Payment Card Industry Security Standards Council, PCIDSS, a governing body tasked with developing and maintaining a unified security standard. This unprecedented collaboration between competing financial institutions highlighted the severity of the challenge and the collective commitment to protecting consumers and merchants alike. The Council released the first version of PCI DSS in December 2004, marking the beginning of a new era in payment card security. Architectural framework, the 6 control objectives. What makes PCI DSS particularly powerful is its comprehensive yet flexible structure, organized around 6 fundamental control objectives that address every aspect of payment data security. 1. Build and maintain a secure network and systems. The foundation of PCI DSS rests on establishing a secure network architecture. This includes implementing robust firewalls that filter traffic between cardholder data environments and untrusted networks, and ensuring all system passwords and security parameters meet stringent requirements rather than remaining at insecure default settings. 2. Protect cardholder data. At its core, PCI DSS focuses on protecting cardholder data both in motion and at rest. This objective requires encryption of transmitted cardholder data across open, public networks and emphasizes the principle of data minimization, storing only what is absolutely necessary and protecting that data through encryption, truncation, or tokenization. 3. Maintain a vulnerability management program. Recognizing that security is never static, PCI DSS mandates continuous vigilance against emerging threats. Organizations must implement anti-malware solutions, regularly update systems to address vulnerabilities, and develop secure systems and applications that aren't susceptible to common coding vulnerabilities like SQL injection and cross-site scripting. 4. Implement strong access control measures. Access to cardholder data must be strictly controlled on a need-to-know basis. PCI DSS requires unique identification for every person with computer access, physical access controls for data centers, and restrictions on both electronic and physical access to cardholder data. 5. Regularly monitor and test networks. Constant monitoring serves as an early warning system for potential breaches. Organizations must track all access to network resources and cardholder data, regularly test security systems and processes, and maintain mechanisms to quickly detect and address unauthorized access to cardholder data. 6. Maintain an information security policy. The human element remains critical to security success. PCI DSS requires organizations to establish, publish, maintain, and disseminate a security policy that addresses all PCI DSS requirements, clearly defines information security responsibilities for all personnel, and includes formal security awareness programs. 12 requirements. The operational blueprint. These 6 control objectives are implemented through 12 specific requirements that provide clear, actionable guidance for organizations. 1. Install and maintain a firewall configuration to protect cardholder data. 2. Do not use vendor-supplied defaults for system passwords and other security parameters. 3. Protect stored cardholder data. 4. Encrypt transmission of cardholder data across open, public networks. 5. Protect all systems against malware and regularly update antivirus software. 6. Develop and maintain secure systems and applications. 7. Restrict access to cardholder data by business need to know. 8. Identify and authenticate access to system components. 9. Restrict physical access to cardholder data. 10. Track and monitor all access to network resources and cardholder data. 11. Regularly test security systems and processes. 12. Maintain a policy that addresses information security for all personnel. Each requirement includes numerous sub-requirements and testing procedures, creating a detailed roadmap for implementation and verification. This structured approach provides both clarity for organizations seeking compliance and consistency for assessors evaluating that compliance. The compliance hierarchy, a tiered approach. PCI DSS acknowledges a diversity of businesses that handle payment card data by establishing different validation levels based on transaction volume and risk exposure. Level 1 applies to merchants processing over 6 million card transactions annually, or those who have experienced a breach resulting in account data compromise. These organizations must undergo an annual on-site assessment by a qualified security assessor, QSA, or internal security assessor, ISA, along with quarterly network scans by an approved scanning vendor, ASV. Level 2 covers merchants processing 1 to 6 million transactions annually. These organizations must complete an annual self-assessment questionnaire, SAQ, and undergo quarterly network scans by an ASV. Level 3 applies to merchants processing 20,000 to 1 million e-commerce transactions annually. Requirements include completing an annual SAQ and undergoing quarterly network scans by an ASV. Level 4 encompasses merchants processing fewer than 20,000 e-commerce transactions annually or up to 1 million regular transactions. These organizations typically complete an annual SAQ and may be required to conduct quarterly network scans by an ASV. This tiered structure ensures that requirements are proportionate to risk, making compliance achievable for organizations of all sizes while maintaining robust security standards. The evolution of the standard, responding to changing threats. Since its inception, PCI DSS has undergone several significant revisions, demonstrating the standard's commitment to addressing emerging threats and incorporating technological advancements. Version 1.0 2004 established the initial framework for payment card security. Version 1.2 2008 introduced clarifications and minor adjustments based on implementation feedback. Version 2.0 2010 refined requirements while maintaining the core structure. Version 3.0 2013 and 3.1 2015 introduced more significant changes, including stronger requirements for password management and authentication. Version 3.2 2016 and 3.2.1 2018 incorporate requirements addressing vulnerabilities in SSL/early TLS. Version 4.0 2022 represents the most substantial overhaul to date, introducing customized implementation options and emphasizing continuous security as a business-as-usual activity. This evolutionary approach ensures that PCI DSS remains relevant in the face of rapidly changing threats and technologies, balancing stability with adaptability. While commonly viewed through the lens of compliance requirements, PCI DSS delivers substantial business value that extends far beyond regulatory checkbox exercises. In an era of frequent data breaches, demonstrating commitment to payment card security builds customer confidence. Organizations that prioritize PCI DSS compliance signal to customers that their financial information will be handled with appropriate care. The controls mandated by PCI DSS significantly reduce the likelihood of data breaches and associated costs. By implementing these security measures, organizations protect themselves from financial penalties, legal liabilities, operational disruptions, and reputational damage. PCI DSS serves as a catalyst for broader security improvements. Organizations often find that implementing PCI DSS controls strengthens their overall security program, protecting not just payment card data but all sensitive information. The discipline required for PCI DSS compliance frequently leads to better documentation, clearer processes, and more consistent security practices, all of which contribute to more efficient operations. For service providers and merchants in competitive markets, demonstrating PCI DSS compliance can be a differentiator that opens doors to partnerships and customer relationships unavailable to non-compliant competitors. For many organizations, the path to PCI DSS compliance presents both challenges and opportunities for transformation. Perhaps the most important aspect of PCI DSS implementation is proper scoping, identifying exactly which systems, people, and processes fall within the cardholder data environment, CDE. Effective scoping can significantly reduce the compliance burden by isolating payment card operations from other business functions through network segmentation and tokenization technologies. Most successful implementations integrate PCI DSS requirements into regular business processes rather than treating compliance as a separate initiative. This security by design approach ensures that security considerations are addressed from the outset of new projects rather than retrofitted later at greater expense. Leading organizations recognize that security is a continuous process, not a periodic assessment. They implement monitoring tools and procedures that provide real-time visibility into their security posture, allowing them to maintain compliance consistently rather than scrambling before assessment deadlines. Technical controls alone cannot ensure security. The most effective PCI DSS implementations include robust security awareness programs that build a culture where every employee understands their role in protecting cardholder data. PCI DSS exists within a larger ecosystem of payment security standards and programs maintained by the PCI Security Standards Council. PCIDSS, Payment Application Data Security Standard, applies to software developers who create payment applications used by merchants. It ensures that payment applications support PCI DSS compliance rather than undermining it through insecure practices. P2P, point-to-point encryption, standard addresses encryption of payment card data from the point of interaction, e.g. payment terminal, to secure decryption environment. Properly implemented P2P solutions can significantly reduce PCI DSS scope for merchants. PCI PIN standard focuses on secure management of personal identification numbers, PINs, used with payment cards for cardholder verification. PCI 3DS, 3-domain secure, is a security protocol designed to provide an additional layer of security for online credit and debit card transactions. PCI SSF, Software Security Framework, is the newest addition to the PCI standards family. The SSF is gradually replacing PCIDSS with a more flexible approach to payment software security. Together, these standards create a comprehensive framework addressing every aspect of payment security, from card production to transaction processing. Future horizons, adapting to new payment paradigms. As payment technologies continue to evolve, PCI DSS faces new challenges and opportunities. The proliferation of mobile payment technologies introduces new security considerations that PCI DSS must address while maintaining backward compatibility with traditional payment methods. As more organizations move their payment processing to cloud environments, PCI DSS must provide guidance on securing these distributed architectures without stifling innovation. Advanced analytics offer new tools for fraud detection and security monitoring, potentially enhancing PCI DSS compliance while raising questions about data privacy and algorithm transparency. The Zero Trust Security model, which assumes no user or system should be trusted by default, aligns well with PCI DSS principles and may influence future iterations of the standard. Emerging technologies that further minimize exposure of actual card data will likely play an increasing role in PCI DSS compliance strategies. PCI DSS stands as more than a security standard. It represents a global commitment to preserving trust in digital commerce. By establishing a common security language across the payment ecosystem, it enables billions of transactions to flow securely across borders and technologies every day. For organizations handling payment card data, PCI DSS offers both a framework for security and a pathway to business value. Those who embrace its principles find themselves not just avoiding breaches, but building stronger relationships with customers, partners, and regulators. As we navigate an increasingly complex digital landscape, the collaborative approach embodied by PCI DSS, bringing together competitors, technology providers, and security experts to address shared challenges, serves as a model for how industries can collectively respond to evolving threats. In the final analysis, PCI DSS has succeeded not just because it mandates specific controls, but because it has fostered a payment security community dedicated to continuous improvement and shared responsibility. This community-driven approach remains its greatest strength as we face the payment security challenges of the future.
Thank you for watching.